What are you doing? I got somebody to move the benches over earlier, but they didn't move the rest of them. The only reason why I kind of want the electricity to come down through here is I want to put lights in here later. How's the lag overall with this many colonists? Generally speaking, it's not too bad. A lot of people literally just can't because they play on like 3 speed all the time. But at the moment, like, give me a sec. Whenever I have a fuck ton of food outside on the ground, just individual things like this, bad. Whenever I have every crop, all my grow areas actively grown at once, and I have plants sway, which I have on all the time. Anyway, so my plants sway back and forth a little bit, and when it's raining, just the 3 is like the holy trinity of just shit, honestly. But yeah, a lot of people play on triple speed to begin with, or they get the mod that allows them to play on 4th speed. I did used to kind of play on 3 speed at one point in time, but I found that it was a really, really quick way to get your colonists dead, because something would happen and you just wouldn't have enough time to pause and react or hit play and react. So essentially what would happen is like somebody would be on a punch up, somebody would go down, somebody would die before you could rescue them. Or a fire would break out and you couldn't get people to it in time and stuff like that. Or a raid would happen and they'd be on your doorstep before you could mobilize people and stuff. So I just stopped playing on like 3 times and stuff. I did briefly when we moved. I think we had like 288 colonists or something like that. And I very briefly snapped it onto 3 times. At the moment, I have all this food out on the ground and I have a lot of crops. And we've got rain on the other side, so it's not going to do anything. But, like, generally speaking, I can put it to it and it will do, like, a little difference and stuff. But I just don't see the point. I don't see the point because I'm trying to keep, like, very specific people alive. If I just didn't give a shit who went down or if somebody randomly died and stuff like that and how it impacted my colony or, like, any of that kind of stuff, yeah, I would probably play it on a bit faster. But the other thing too is because I'm always having a chitty chat, I also just don't have enough time while I'm having a conversation to react, because it does slow me down of like the thought processing as well, you know, because I'm not just talking, I'm not just thinking, but I'm also like trying to keep track of what's happened, what will happen, who I'm talking to, what I was previously talking to them about, you know, what I plan to do in the game, all these things at the same time. And so, yeah, sometimes it causes a delay cognitively as well. Play with combat extended. It's too easy for my colonists to die. So it's, oh yeah, that's fair. I was influenced by you and started to, was it Mad Recruit? I just destroyed my colony. Oh yeah, well, if you take on too many people at once and you're not prepared for it, you will run your colony into the ground. You kind of need to have like an increasing number of food, animal production for more food, more clothes, more leathers, more wools. You need more housing. You need to have enough infrastructure. You need electricity to be able to keep up with the amount of like air conditioning, lighting, production benches, blah, 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 all this crap, you know, like in the first location we had, we went up to like 180 colonists, like really quick, really, really quickly before we moved in the first year. And that's pretty normal for me. I tend to have like 100 odd colonists, but, yeah, once we started getting over 200, I had to start learning how to manage that shit. You know, so yeah, sometimes we incorrectly balanced it, or somebody kicked a geothermal fucking generator and took the grow rooms offline during winter and we lost our crops, and then people were starving, so I had to cull animals so they'd have food. And then we wouldn't have enough clothes, or we wouldn't have enough meat, and then I'd have to cull different animals, or, you know, all sorts of shit. Like, normally speaking, if I was playing with a colony of like 170 odd, which is kind of more my normal sort of thing, I'd normally have like a fuck ton of surplus clothes. I'd normally have a fuck ton of surplus rice. I'd normally have like a lot of like spare leathers and resources and stuff. And I'd just have like super supreme colony wealth and the ability to buy anything I want from anybody. Plus also, you know, the shit ton of wood as well. Mate, we don't do drugs here. I hope you enjoy your hospital stay. Don't kill him, guys. The 3-speed is enough for me, but I slow it down so often, or just pause, so I can respond to things. Yeah. There's only enough brain soup to go around. Yeah, exactly. LT's got it. So there's just like, especially if you're streaming, there's like an extra component to like everything. Like I often say this, when I'm streaming, I can't do maths. I just don't have the capacity to do it. But as soon as I stop stream, I can do it again. It's just like how this kind of works. But also the other thing too is because like, as you guys know, I'm non-stop talking all stream long, but I'm normally having a conversation with you guys. I normally roughly remember what was going on the last time I was talking to you, what's going on in your lives and stuff. Like, yeah, I might be talking to like several people, and then whatever I'm doing in the game on top of it, like Need for Speed Underground was a good example where I'm just like, I was winning the game and I wasn't even aware of it because I was just having a huge gas bag the whole time. And then we completed the game and I'm like, oh shit, you know, and I cottoned on at that point. I'm like, oh, I did a thing, you know. But yeah, so I couldn't even think of the word rabies when comparing it to RimWorld Scaria. Yeah, that happens too. Okay, so when I'm tired, I can't recollect information as well. So I'll sit here and I cannot think of a word or I cannot think of a phrase. And I can't remember my own memories a lot when I'm streaming, when I'm tired. So like, yeah, sometimes, like I said, sometimes I get like disrupted sleep and stuff like that because I sleep during the day. And so I will be tired when I stream. But like the only times like I won't stream is if I feel like I'm too tired, too unwell, or like, you know, I might be like too crappy or something like that. And then I won't stream that day kind of thing. Because I won't put you guys through any of that shit and stuff. So if I am streaming and I am tired, I'm at like a level where I'm still comfortable kind of thing. But yeah, I just have no recollective ability during it. So yeah, it gets interesting because like I feel like I'm like dumbed down like a lot. But as soon as I stop streaming, I also have that extra capacity. The other thing too, speaking of that, is it's not just a load on like my brain, but the game itself, when I stream, my streaming software puts a load on my computer as well. I have my avatar and I have my streaming software, right? And so when I'm not streaming, if I was to go offline and then play, like open up RimWorld without like progressing the story, everybody is usually moving around a little bit more smoothly and stuff. So I know that having all this shit open does impact it a bit. Like I said, I did upgrade the graphics card when it was basically shitting itself, and we couldn't play Diablo and crap. But I do still need to upgrade like the rest of my computer. And I've got to like work on that over like the next year and stuff, realistically. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's a slow progress for me because it's an expense, you know. But yeah, eventually I'll get it all upgraded, and RimWorld is one of those games where it kind of has like a hard limit. I don't want you to forswear that, mate. Yeah, so for instance, like RimWorld will meet a point where it stops using additional resources. So it doesn't tend to struggle too much, but if you have like a shit ton of mods, it will slow it down a heap as well. I find that that's like the biggest thing. Like tonight it's being a little bit crunchy, but I'm also getting a lot of rain at Dryden. Like it's hard to see, but I'm getting rain the same time as I've got plant sway. So you can see them just barely moving. And I've got my people out here also starting to pick up the crops as well. So I'm gonna have all this crap over here soon too. But I've got this mess, which I don't know how much I've got. I'm assuming I've got like 4,000 or 5,000 rice on the ground. Whenever it's usually around about like the 4+, it has an issue. But once I get like the crops out of there, once the rain stops again, it'll smooth up again. So yeah, it always just fucking conditions, you know. My watercolor is shot. Jumping up to 50C, just sitting here watching you. Oh, your water cooler. It's another expense in my future. Yeah, I never went water cooling. My partner used to have water cooling. Now we have almost identical PCs, only because like I've got a massive cooling unit on my CPU and a different graphics card to him now. Because a few years ago when I was doing an art stream, I knocked over a drink into the top of my PC that basically like my fan just sprayed that everywhere inside of it. So yeah, that was an energy drink, and I like turned it off and like cleaned everything, but it did lasting damage and stuff. So I know that my graphics card isn't the only thing that got hit in that, but yeah, I've still got to like take the time to wait and get the other shit and replace it and stuff, you know. I had to, I was never lower than 30C in my room during summer. Could do anything without hitting redline temperatures. Yeah, summer is interesting too, because like I've got mine and my partner's computers in the same room. So when we're both in here and we've both got the computers running and then we've both got the cats, it gets really hot, especially because like there's a portion of the day where the sun is on the front, like the window kind of thing where I am. And so it gets really, really hot in front of me and heats up the room extra. But we have an air conditioner, but a couple of years ago the air conditioners did break, and that year was fucking horrid because I also have medical conditions and stuff, so I couldn't escape the heat at all anywhere in the house because all the air conditioners broke at the same time. And so yeah, I ended up just sleeping on the tiles on the floor because it was more comfortable than trying to sleep like in a bed and stuff. We also had an ant invasion that year as well. It was really bad. Like the whole suburb just had like such a fucking big infestation. And so yeah, it didn't matter where I slept, there was ants as well. It was a really, really horrible fucking summer, that one. But yeah, once we got the air conditioners sorted back out, like if it gets too hot in here, we can put that on. My heater also died this year, so we had to get a new heater, which was interesting because Phoenix had never seen a heater like this, and he would not stop having like a fucking beef about it. My cat Phoenix was just like, I don't know what this is. Would you turn on the goddamn heater? Like the heater was on, but he's like, would you turn the heater on? Kind of thing. So yeah, he just kept going on about it. He kept like soliciting us to like turn the heater on. And I'm like, it's already on. So like I just hold him in a position where like he could be above it and he could feel that the heat was on and stuff like that until he kind of got until he got the gist that it actually was on and stuff. But yeah, this is like the only problem with like the fact that like when I moved out and shit, I got a lot of my like, I don't know, just household equipment and stuff around about the same time. So when it breaks, it all breaks around about the same time. And because I built this place when I moved into it and stuff, like I think it's been like 16 years or something like that, give or take. I'm not even entirely sure. I think the aircon was like 16 years old and I installed it with the house and stuff. So yeah, shit's just breaking. It's at that age where shit's just breaking, you know? It's just going to do it anyway, kind of thing. But if one thing breaks, like multiple things are probably going to break at the same time. It's more along the lines of, it's been so long, a lot of the time parts don't exist for the equipment that I have. So yeah, when something breaks, I normally have to replace it these days because I've normally repaired as much as I can. Hey Beza, the fuck you up to? But yeah, I can't help it. It's just how shit works these days, unfortunately. But yeah, don't mind that. Like, I don't know. Things happen. Things break. If something's gonna break, like multiple things are probably gonna break, you know? Just how it is. And, yeah. I don't know. Still here. Still doing stuff. I can't remember if that's steel tile or concrete. Hold on. It is steel tile. What are you up to, Bezel? Sipping drinks and lurking? I presume that that's like 90% of what Bezel does. Even if it's like not sipping the drinks specifically, like I feel like since I've made that emote, Bezel is extremely hydrated. Yeah. I don't know, I know I made it, I know it's my character, but whenever I see it, it just automatically reminds me Bezel. Because you use it probably the most. Because I have drinks often, so it's not wrong. Oh yeah. Let's have a straw in my drink too. See, I used to have straws. I used to like getting like these papery kind of like paper and plastic straws and stuff like that, but my local grocery stores don't sell them at all anymore. They changed some stuff up a few years ago. They're actually like out of like a lot of things. Like, I'm not even joking. My local grocery store doesn't have apples and potatoes anymore at the moment. They're not available. Other stores have them. My grocery store is so shit. But anyway, I used to get these silicone straws, and I didn't mind using them. I realized I put concrete through this whole area, but I wanted to be sterile tile. But yeah, anyway, I didn't mind using them until like I saw, I don't know how to put it. There's like a video that showed like how the bacteria stays and grows even if like you wash it and stuff, and I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to drink from them after that. I still have them. I just haven't like disposed of them or anything yet. Not really sure what I want to do with them. But I can't bring myself to drink from them. I'd be happy enough if I could get my hands on some just like normal paper straws. I'd be quite like happy with it. I'm not thrilled, like I'm not a huge fan of like the paper texture and the fact that, because like it takes me forever to drink something, right? So like the paper straw will normally disintegrate before I'm finished drinking the drink, which kind of bugs me. But I also don't want to use metal straws because I know that I have to physically clean them between each use, like actually like before putting it down in like the cutlery tray thing, right, to like wait to be washed and stuff. I kind of like have to physically go and wash it, and I know I won't do that. I already know that I'm just not going to do it, so I won't buy it for that reason. Because the other thing too is like I don't want to end up with like getting out one of those and having a mixed flavor beverage because it's actually not clean inside. Sorry, I have like a lot of particulars with like how things are washed because of the OCD and the hygiene shit. You'd think that I'd be like inclined to wash it like ASAP, but no. Not so much. I might be busy, I might be between doing something and just put it down, and then it's like, it's a pain in the ass to clean later. I always have a straw in my drinks. I answer that. Well, that's crazy, although I will say the straws they sell at the local grocery store are terrible. So I get them from a local hardware store. That's interesting. They sell packs of like 50 for $1.20. Actually, the best paper ones don't disintegrate on the first drink or replace them after a drink. So never been an issue. I wouldn't mind if they had like a little bit of like a wax coating or something like that. So like, you know, if you're sipping a cold drink, it's not gonna like, I don't know, break down. I'd love that. But they don't sell those. And like, yeah, I feel like even if I went out my way to like a different area, I don't think I'd come across like, I don't think I'd come across one that would like last here. Terrible. Another transport pod's ready. Then something is on fire. The reusable store is really hard to clean properly. Yeah. I used to work with a lady that had a metal straw, and I really did think that they were a great idea. But I also know myself. And I know that I'm not going to like wash it as soon as I'm done using it. I know that I'm going to put it down and walk away because that's just what I do. So I wouldn't probably buy one for that reason. I think these probably do have small wax coating inside, or they're just extra compacted paper or something. They're seriously durable. My drink from last night, I forgot to put it downstairs. I can visibly see that the straw is completely still fine. I'd love some fucking straws like that. So the ones we get here, they seem to be like a spiral. Like they're a really thin piece of paper. If you were to unwrap the straw, it would turn into a straight line, a long piece of paper. What I would like to get is one that I don't care if it's got to be preformed around a tube or something like that, but like at least like coated or something. That would be really nice. But the paper ones, or I guess like newspaper or whatever the fuck they are, cardboard, that's the word. They just, I don't know. They just kind of like, I guess kind of like seep through the side a little bit as they kind of bring the liquid up through themselves, and then it sits in like the inner ridges kind of thing, and then just disintegrates, and then it will just kind of like fall limp kind of thing as you're trying to use the straw. It's not even like, you don't even really get like halfway through your beverage most of the time. Like I don't use them very often. Like I tend to just walk around with a drink bottle. I have a 1.5 liter water bottle that I'll drink water out of most of the time. But yeah, there are definitely times where I wouldn't mind having a straw for something. The other thing too is I used to like my previous drink bottle. It was like one of those like sports squeegee kind of bottles in a way. I don't know why they won't pick that up. No accessible spot to store it. Okay, we must be out of storage again. Yeah, I used to have one of those like sports bottles kind of things where you could kind of like squeeze it kind of thing, and you could get the water faster. But this one is like a hard plastic, and I can't squeeze it to get the water faster, which is a little bit frustrating because I got to wait for it to pour, and it's a slow pour. And I'll often sit here and I'll be like waiting to get like a decent mouthful of water. And yeah, eventually it will happen, but I'll be sitting here for like ages just waiting. You want water? I used to drink a lot more water faster. Like when I was going to the gym all the time, I used to drink like 1.5 liters after doing like some serious exercise. I'd go and fill up my 1 liter water bottle, and I'd step aside and let like the next people and stuff in line, like obviously fill their drink bottles and shit. And then I'd line back up so I could refill my drink bottle so then I could crush another half of it. And somebody'd be like, did you just fill that? And I'd be like, I already just drank it. I drank it while you were filling yours. And like, Jesus, like what? I need water. There we go. Get some water. I have to send you a care package of paper straws. Look, if I could find like decent fucking straws, like I don't know, I'd probably get some. But like these days, I don't even fully trust that if I got straws, there'd be any kind of good quality. I don't know if they're gonna try to store food in here as well. I still got to get like a couple of people to like move everything over. Well, I've got silverware actually. I'm trying to get them to move shit over so I can get more stuff. I don't want you to forswear that. Trana's having a food binge. That's fine, Trana. We actually have food. So, go ham, mate. Yeah. I want them to move this over so I can make more storage. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't want to copy it. I just want to move it over. Speaking out on food and psychotic state, recreationally starved. We have recreational stuff here. We're also going to send more TVs. But still, we're working on it. And ironically, my family got some really nice quality paper straws last year for Christmas. We got these fancy golden looking ones. Basically Christmas themed. And they were being reduced to clear during summer, so a bunch of very fancy straws that could use for special occasions. Oh yeah. Don't mind my voice. Anybody that's new in, my voice kind of craps out at about 3 hours into stream, every stream. I don't know why. I think it's because like I talk non-stop, but at the same time, like after I have these couple of weeks off, my voice is going to go to absolute trash because I won't speak for like 2 weeks while I'm not streaming, and then I'll come back and I'll go to talk and my voice will crap out and I'll end up sounding like fucking Marge Simpson for like half the stream. It'd be great. I will hydrate Droll. Just give me a second. I just want to figure out which bench. That one. Need to move. I can't move that. Alright, let me hydrate properly. I'm going to mute myself for a second so you don't hear the glugging. Thanks. Yeah, no, I kind of needed to hydrate earlier. And every time I go to hydrate, I'm taking like, not quite a sip, but like just a little bit more than like a mouthful kind of thing. And it's not really like doing what it's supposed to do. Like ASMR cheese. Nah, well, okay, so I've got that thing where like food sounds bother me, like irritate my ears and shit. I also know you're joking and stuff, but like, yeah, no, I'm not a really big fan of like hearing people eat and drink. And when I go to drink from my drink bottle, my microphone is above me. So it ends up being like right next to it, and it would be louder than me talking. And I don't really want that. So yeah, I just kind of like, if I really got to take a drink of water, I'll mute it for a hot minute. I don't need to very often, but my voice was just, it was crunching a little bit too hard. Also, everybody's back to being able to move around fine. The rain must have stopped at the other location. Nope, it's still going. Maybe they ate the fucking, what'd you call it? Nope, the rice is still there. I don't know. Maybe I've brought stuff inside. Also, speaking of free turret. That's right. I got a free turret from one of my attack quests. I gotta make more turrets too. I also just need people to come out and work on stuff around the place as well. But I've been kind of like grabbing all my best people and kind of like forcing them to make stuff inside. Who's starving? Is it somebody that's wandering? The caravan is starving. How far are they out? They're still over a day's worth. Have they got no food? I could send them a small care package pod, but I think it would take longer to make than it would for me to send a caravan to them. I think they might make it in time, but I don't want to try it. So let's grab, I don't really want you three, you're like the worst. Let's grab Keon because they can do medical. Grab Az and Whoops, and I only want like a couple of animals for this. I want something you guys can ride out on quickly if you could. I have no horses at this location. I had a bunch of horses get stuck. My people, how do I put this? My people hitched them up in a spot and then I couldn't unhitch them. So basically they kind of like were in the middle of a battle and also starving. And yeah, I couldn't really do anything about that. I couldn't get them like unhitched. So I ended up just deciding, I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to cull them because that will resolve the issue. And yeah, it did, but I lost like my horses and shit. That's 11 days worth of food. It's probably not a huge amount. I might not even need an animal actually. I just want some people to get out there quickly to them. It's not a lot of food. You guys are not taking the bedrolls. I love that they want them, but they can't have them. Like, I've got them. I want to sell them, but they'll always pick it up. This isn't going to be a lot of food once they merge with the caravan, but it is going to bring in a little bit of extra medical for the people that are captured and the food. So I don't know if they're going to get there in time, but I'll see if I can merge them with the... I don't tend to merge caravans like this very often, but I did send them to like multiple locations, and I did divvy up the caravan on the way back. I wasn't expecting them to take as long. I was expecting to get more resources but I didn't want to fuck around and try to deconstruct some shit there. You know, that when you go into a place and you're like, I'm just going to decompose